OSHA, hazard communication, basic question and answer. Question: who must have labels, safety data sheets, SDSs, and train employees on how to handle classified hazardous chemicals? A. Distributors. B. Manufacturers. C. Employers. D. Sellers. Question: the United Nations globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals, GHS, provides a common and coherent approach to A. Classifying chemicals and communicating hazard information. B. Distributing chemical warnings and literature. C. Manufacturing and classifying chemical globally. D. Labeling consumer chemicals and distributing global requirements. Question: under the HCS 2012, which of the following is a characteristic of a physical hazard? A. Reproductive toxicity. B. Skin irritant. C. Flammable. D. Carcinogen. Question: which of the following is defined as small particles, usually formed when solid metal is heated and vaporized and then condenses as tiny particles? A. Mists. B. Vapors. C. Gases. D. Fumes. Question: what is the most common route of entry for hazardous substances? A. Ingestion. B. Inhalation. C. Absorption. D. Injection. Question: under the hierarchy of controls, elimination, substitution, and engineering controls are given higher priority because A. They are most effective in manipulating behaviors. B. They focus on the greatest number of causes for accidents. C. They are used when behaviors can't be effectively controlled. D. They focus on directly reducing exposure to the hazard. Question: which of the following may not require a container label? A. Stationary containers. B. Workplace and secondary containers. C. Shipped and primary containers. D. Portable containers. Question: coffee cans, drums, plastic jugs, and spray bottles are examples of containers. A. Fixed. B. Primary. C. Secondary. D. Portable. Question: which type of containers are used to transfer hazardous chemicals from labeled containers, and are intended only for the immediate use of the employee who performs the transfer? A. Primary containers. B. Secondary containers. C. Storage containers. D. Portable containers. Question: if you saw a container with a pictogram with a skull and crossbones, what would it mean to you? A. Target organ toxicity. B. Acute toxicity, fatal or toxic. C. Carcinogenic. D. Toxic narcotic effects. Question: safety data sheets, SDSs, are required to be presented A. if consumer products are purchased in bulk. B. whenever a new chemical of any kind is purchased. C. in the primary language of the user. D. in a consistent user-friendly, 16-section format. Question: which SDS section would display signal words and pictograms? A. Section 1, Identification. B. Section 2, Hazards Identification. C. Section 3, Composition, and Information on Ingredients. D. Section 4, First Aid Measures. Question: which SDS section includes containment and cleanup practices to prevent or minimize exposure to people, properties, or the environment? A. Section 5, Firefighting Measures. B. Section 6, Accidental Release Measures. C. Section 7, Handling and Storage. D. Section 8, Exposure Controls, and Personal Protection. Question: in which section of the SDS would you find a description of the delayed, immediate, or chronic effects from short and long-term exposure? A. Section 9, Physical and Chemical Properties. B. Section 10, Stability and Reactivity. C. Section 11, Toxicological Information. D. Section 16, Other Information. Question: how soon must manufacturers add new information to an SDS after becoming aware of any significant new information regarding the hazards of a chemical? Or ways to protect against the hazards? A. Within 30 days. B. Within 3 months. C. Immediately. D. As soon as possible. Question: where must SDSs be maintained during each work shift? A. Where unauthorized persons cannot have access. B. In a locked cabinet to protect the data. C. In a centralized office area at each work site. D. Where they are readily accessible in work areas. Question: to be effective, safety data sheet, SDS, training should A. Be completed within 2 weeks of employment. B. Be conducted one-on-one. C. Consist of primarily instructor lecture. D. Include demonstration and practice. Question: to protect employees from the hazards of the chemicals they use. Employers must develop HAZCOM training that includes A. Specific procedures. B. Leadership training. C. Video lessons. D. 20-question exams. Question: who is responsible for training specific requirements of the company's hazard communication program to temporary employees? A. The temporary agency. B. The host employer. C. A third-party contractor. D. Either the employer or temporary agency. Question: if the employer merely intends to evacuate the work area, training should focus on the A. The emergency action plan. B. Command post operations plan. C. Fire brigade operations plan. D. Emergency response plan.